Chapter 1, and the topic is Components of Food. In lower classes, we made lists of the food items that we eat. We also identified food items eaten in different parts of India and marked these on its map. A meal could consist of chapati, dal, and brinjal curry. Another may be rice, sambar, and a vegetable preparation of lady's finger. Yet another meal could be appam, fish curry, and vegetables. Activity 1. Our meals usually have at least one item made of some kind of grain. Other items could be a dal or a dish of meal and vegetables. It may also include items like curd, buttermilk, and pickles. Some examples of meals from different regions are given in Table 1.1. Select food items and enter these in Table 1.1. Sometimes we may not really have all this variety in our meals. If we are traveling, we may eat whatever is available on the way. It may not be possible for some of us to eat such a variety of items most of the time. There must be some reason, though, why meals usually consist of such a distribution. Do you think that our body needs different kinds of food for some special purpose? 1.1. What do different food items contain? We know that each dish is usually made up of one or more ingredients, which we get from plants or animals. These ingredients contain some components that are needed by our body. These components are called nutrients. The major nutrient in our food are named carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. In addition, food contains dietary fibers and water, which are also needed by our body. Do all foods contain all these nutrients? With some simple methods, we can test whether cooked food or a raw ingredient contains one or more of these nutrients. The tests for presence of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are simpler to do as compared to the tests for other nutrients. Let us do these tests and record all our observations in Table 1.2. For carrying out these tests, you will need solutions of iodine, copper sulfate, and caustic soda. You will also need a few test tubes and a dropper. Try these tests on cooked food items as well as raw materials. Table 1.2 shows you a way to record the observations from these tests. Some food items are given in this table. You can conduct the test either with these or any other available food items. Do these tests carefully and do not try to eat or taste any chemicals. If the required solutions are not available in ready made form, your teacher can prepare them as given in the box. Let us begin by testing different food items to see if they contain carbohydrates. There are many types of carbohydrates. The main carbohydrates found in our food are in the form of starch and sugars. We can easily test if a food item contains starch. A dilute solution of iodine can be prepared by adding a few drops of tincture iodine to a test tube half filled with water. Copper sulfate solution can be prepared by dissolving 2 grams of copper sulfate in 100 milliliter of water. 10 grams of caustic soda dissolved in 100 ml of water makes the required solution of caustic soda. Activity 2. Test for starch. Take a small quantity of a food item or raw ingredient. Put 2-3 drops of dilute iodine solution on it. Figure 1.1. Observe if there is any change in the color of the food item. Did it turn blue-black? A blue-black color indicates that it contains starch. Repeat this test with other food items to find out which of these contain starch. Enter all your observations in Table 1.2. Test for protein. Take a small quantity of a food item for testing. If the food you want to test is a solid, you first need to make a paste of it or powder it. Grind or mash a small quantity of the food item. Put some of this in a clean test tube. Add 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. Now, using a dropper, add 2 drops of solution of copper sulfate and 10 drops of solution of caustic soda to the test tube. Shake well and let the test tube stand for a few minutes. What do you see? Did the contents of the test tube turn violet? A violet color indicates presence of proteins in the food item. Now you can repeat this test on other food items. Test for fats. Take a small quantity of a food item, wrap it in a piece of paper and crush it. Take care that the paper does not tear. Now straighten the paper and observe it carefully. Does it have an oily patch? Hold the paper against light. Are you able to see the light faintly through this patch? An oily patch on paper shows that the food item contains fat. The food items may sometimes contain a little water. Therefore, after you have rubbed an item on paper, let the paper dry for a while. If there were any water that may have come from food, it would dry up after some time. If no oily patch shows up after this, the food item does not contain any fat. What do these tests show? Are fats, proteins, and starch present in all the food items that you tested? Does a food item contain more than one nutrient? Do you find any food item that does not contain any of these nutrients? We tested food items for 3 nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. There are also other nutrients like vitamins and minerals that are present in different food items. Why do we need all these nutrients? 1.2. What do various nutrients do for our body? Carbohydrates mainly provide energy to our body. Fats also give us energy. In fact, fats give much more energy as compared to the same amount of carbohydrates. Foods containing fats and carbohydrates are also called energy giving foods. Figure 1.3 and Figure 1.4. Proteins are needed for the growth and repair of our body. Foods proteins are often called bodybuilding foods. Vitamins help in protecting our body against diseases. Vitamins also help in keeping our eyes, bone, teeth, and gums healthy. Vitamins are of different kinds known by different names. Some of these are vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and K. There is also a group of vitamins called vitamin B complex. Our body needs all types of vitamins in small quantities. Vitamin A keeps our skin and eyes healthy.